Do you see me now?
Yeah.
All right, what's up? What's up? What's up, man? We appreciate y'all for checking in to the G Spot podcast. This evening, first and foremost, praise God for my blessings flow. This podcast, we have a new one to the G Spot podcast, Miss Kalina,
Hi.
one of the fashion designers. That's gonna be good time. How you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Has anybody ever told you you look like Coco? I think from SWV.
Who?
I think Coco. I think that's her name from SWV.
Coco? No,
The one who she was like the.
I don't know who that is. I gotta look her up. I
Yeah.
know SWV, but I don't.
Okay.
I have to look her
Yeah.
up.
You
I'm sure
definitely
she's
you kind of look
beautiful,
like
so
her.
thank you.
Yes, she is. She is. She is. Thank you though for coming here. And having it. Well, when we say, I'm saying you had me. You know what I'm saying? I thank you for that. And we gonna jump into it first and foremost. If y'all haven't already, make sure y'all get y'all tickets for uh, the fashion show. This will
Yeah.
be the first for me in the city, especially in the city of Georgia, man. So I'm very, very, very much excited about that.
We're
So
excited to
make sure
have
y'all check
you
that.
here.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited. I'm coming the day before to try to because I want to meet everybody, of course, the day before. You know what I'm saying, to get a little vibe of everybody. So I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to be around so many talented individuals, man, and especially to finally be able to visit Black Wall Street.
Yes.
So I'm definitely excited about that. And once again, man, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all get y'all tickets. The link is on the G Spot podcast page, and we definitely we're gonna turn that thing up. We got Pensacola in the house. We got a very, very talented designers that be in the building. And you messing around with the Quincy, you just don't know who else might pop up. Hey, so definitely, man, make sure y'all check out an Arabian Night in Africa fashion show, which will be June 20th. That's on a Thursday of next week in Stonecrest, Georgia. So make sure y'all come check it out, man. Starting at 4 p.m. Now, please, to my colored people, be on
Not
time.
don't come on CP time.
Yeah, come on, CP time. Come on, time. So I already see you. You already kind of giving us a little of who you are in the background.
Oh,
So
what does that mean?
now that's good. You know what I'm saying? Especially since we already talking about fashion. So I'm gonna let you tell us a little about about yourself, where you from, your upbringing.
Well, I'm from Georgia. I've been raised here all my life. Some people don't know. Well, I know you don't know Gentris, but I have a lot of family in Pensacola.
Oh,
My
really?
other family is all out there, so I've spent a lot of my summers in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Um, I've been in fashion for as long as I can remember. I've been cutting up my clothes for as long as I can remember. It's the moment I knew I can create something, I started. I've been doing it for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently turned into a career where I would decide to design for other people. For the longest, I was always just designing for myself because it's something very therapeutic that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I enjoy creating experiences for people, and that's what allows me to do with K-PARI is create, those experiences for people where, they're going to have those custom pieces. And it's not just custom, it's a piece that, you're going to feel your most beautiful self in. You're never probably going to want to get rid of it. Those are probably going to be some of the best pictures you take.
Mm-hmm.
um, like I said, I just really enjoy giving people, um, like I guess a confidence booster,
Mm-hmm.
because that's kind of what happens a lot of the times, when women and guys get into something that makes them physically look good, they're like on 10. So all of
Yeah.
a sudden, if they had a little low self esteem, now they feel good about themselves. And so that's just a little bit about my background in fashion.
Mhm.
I attended Georgia Southern University. I have been in every industry you can think of, as far as like beauty, fashion, corporate, you name it. I've probably done it. Um, I think my favorite thing to do is travel.
Mhm.
I love to travel. A lot of the times that I'm traveling, I want to go to new fabric stores, vendors, just to find those original one in a kind pieces. I love moms and pop shops.
Mhm.
So that's something that I like to enjoy doing. It's like business and pleasure.
Yeah. Were you one of those like I heard one designer say before, you one of those like kind of like thrift store shoppers when it
So
comes to fashion?
growing up, I definitely enjoyed going, and sometimes now, every now and then, because I've done it for so long, I will go like on the weekend and try to find me a gym here. And I don't just look for clothes. I'm no shame in buying some furniture if it's in good condition and a little tweaking.
Mhm.
Um, but yes, I do enjoy. It's not like it used to be when I was a teenager. I don't know if everybody got hooked, hip onto going thrifting. But
Mhm.
back when I was doing it as a teenager, it was so much fun. You will find all kind of good things, designer, not designer, just original pieces. So
Yeah, so that's cool to see that you wear many hats as well. Like when did you start taking fashion serious? Like when around that time, what motivated you to take fashion more serious?
I would say it was kind of like around the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and I think for a lot of us, our lives changed, and I had just stopped working at my job, and I was just like, at that time, I was a little tired of, going into the workplace. I knew I was good at what I did. I'm a great designer. People tell me all the time, and I just say, you know what? Let me start. And actually, what it was, I was working for a popular lady here in Atlanta. She has a really popular boutique. She has a reality show for it. So she brought me in and she let me work with her, right up into the pandemic. And I was able to kind of see and learn, how she was doing it. And it really inspired me. I told her that quite often, that what she was doing, inspired me. Like that was what my goal was, to have my own personal boutique, where girls can come in and, create that experience for them. So once I started with her, I was like, okay, at this point now I have to, take it a little bit more serious. Then I kind of ended up getting pregnant, and
You
once
kind of
I
got
things
pregnant.
kind of I had put a hold to things because I'm a mother first before anything. So when I had my second son, that kind of put a hold. So now we're 3 years ahead of
Mhm.
that. And now I'm back into, okay, he's not a baby, he's a toddler now, he's getting big, he has a little bit more independence. Now I don't found myself again, my own individuality outside of being the mom. So now I'm ready to get back in, and this is what this collection will do for me.
Mhm. Was that a hard transition, coming from motherhood and getting back out there?
It was it's always a hard transition because being a mother is something. He just came to the room.
That's all right.
Being a mother is you feel that there's a certain way that you have to be, that you have to act,
Mhm.
and a lot of those ways may not be how you were before you became a mother.
Right.
So once you become a mother, you're like, I got to make all these adjustments, not necessarily, but you just kind of have to be a little bit more mindful and considerate of your children,
Right.
especially being permanently on the internet these days.
Right.
um, so what? And for me, I'm pretty much a free spirit. Um, so I had to kind of learn not to be so much of a free spirit and be a lot
Mhm.
more cautious.
Mhm.
um, but the transition, I think overall. Give me 1 second, okay? See, I'm getting. The juice.
I get it. It's crazy because I have a family member that just commented and said, "Hey, niece and cousin, it's a small
Yeah.
world." So apparently, some kids are some of the same people.
Okay, go get some juice. Go tell your brother to give you some juice. So yeah. So the transition, it's always yes. I'm gonna pause really quickly,
That's fine. That's
and
fine.
I'm gonna come right back. So give me a
Okay,
moment.
I got you. What's up? What's up, man? Y'all, if y'all haven't already, y'all just checking in. Make sure y'all get y'all tickets. I mean, y'all come on to Atlanta if you ain't doing nothing next week, next Thursday. We have the Arabian Night in Africa. I hope I said that right, man, because it's really a tongue tire, for real, for real. And I've been doing it, but yeah, the Arabian Night in Africa, fashion show we got coming up next Thursday, June 20th, and Stonecrest at the Black Wall Street. And if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks, we've been having some of the designers come in. We had Charles Gibson and his crew came in. So it was a packed house. We brought all these people up in here last week. I don't even think that was all of them. But this week we got Mrs. Kalina with PARI, and definitely that be dope, work. So make sure y'all
Okay,
definitely
I'm
check her
back.
out and follow her. Hey, and she back, she back, she back.
Okay, and it
Um,
sounds like I'm not sure, but it sounds like you may have mispronounced my name. I just Kalina.
Kalina,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could have. I'm sorry. Oh, but yeah, like I said, I know I definitely will talk after this too because now that I see that I got a cousin out here that said
So
that you're
I
gonna
can't
get.
see anybody that's commenting. I don't have
Yeah,
Facebook, so I
yeah.
don't see what you see.
Mm.
So you said someone said we were cousins.
No, well, I had a cousin of mine come in and said, "Hey, niece and cousin, it's a small world." So,
Okay.
and she's from Pensacola. So, yeah, we probably some kin to the same people.
Well,
We-
Pensacola is very small,
oh
so
yeah, most definitely, most definitely. And so, when it do you get a lot of support from your family here when it comes to you and designing?
um
We'll just get to that. Let's get that one. All right. So, what as a designer, what are some of the things that you feel like were challenges for you getting into that field?
so one of the challenges for me, wait. You say one of the challenges as a designer
Yeah,
that I face.
yeah.
For me, I am just a designer.
Mm,
And so let me explain what that means. I like to create. Now, the sewing part, I'm not a great seamstress.
mm,
I don't like getting behind the machine.
mm,
I will. I've been behind the machine creating this collection, but I don't like it. That's just not my. It's one of my weaknesses, and a lot of people
mm,
don't know that. And that was also one of the things that always hindered me in my career, because one, I don't. It intimidates me.
mm.
So when you have things sometimes that intimidate you, if you don't face it head on, it can hinder you.
It
And
can.
so it has. It is one of my weaknesses. Um, people texting in. Um, but yes, so that's one of the things that I feel like I will always say is actually putting it together and sewing it, but I get it done
Mhm,
the best that I can. But the goal for me is to definitely bring somebody aboard full time and be able to help me with that. And that way I know I'll be able to produce a lot more because I have some really great designs.
right.
I just need that support where, someone that really loves to sew, but they're not creative, or they just don't have a desire to be a designer and they just still have that passion to sew.
Right.
I'm looking for you. So if you're watching, hit me up.
Definitely. I understand how that could be a lot of work, and then I'm pretty sure it's a lot to balance too with being a mother and balancing your craft at the same time. So if you could describe your own sense of style, like what would you describe yourself, your own style as?
Oh man, I you just never know what you're gonna get with me.
Never know.
No, I think everybody could probably agree with that because I have so many different personalities. You know, sometimes I can dress extremely down. And to me, dressing down is still not dressing down to you. So you, I just, you just have to see, you know. One thing my friends always say is like, girl, we just gonna have to see when you show up.
Yeah. But they know when you show up, you're gonna show up. Yeah.
Right.
So, do you have any do you have any fashion designers or celebrities who you really like look up to when it comes to the fashion world?
No,
No.
no,
You
there's
stick to your own
nobody.
thing.
I mean, we have people that's up there, right? That's
Right.
always, has some type of influence on what we're doing or what we want to do in one way or another. But I don't think when it comes down to me creating, I'm not thinking about something I saw or no type of imitation. When I'm creating, I'm literally in my own zone, in my
Yeah.
own thoughts, in my
Mm-hmm.
own world,
Mm-hmm.
and just letting my imagination kind of come alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always been like that. I've always influenced, my own style. And my style changes so much from, just we all change, but
Right.
my style is always changing. And so is my designing, my techniques and what I want to see. That's always changing. So
Mm-hmm. So, have you had the chance to like work with many, I guess popular figures, um, and or celebrities, that really kind of stood out to you?
so I have not worked with anyone
Mm-hmm.
yet. And I think a lot of that is my own fault because the opportunities definitely have been there, been presented. I think the most recent artist who I had a chance to possibly collab with, connect with was Glorilla, and that was
Okay.
I want to say 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Right before, like right when she came out, whatever year it was when she dropped that song, I forgot the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Twerking on the headlights, okay?
Yeah.
That was like her peak, right? So she was living in Atlanta, and the stylist that she was using followed my designer page and was keeping up and reached out to me and was like, hey, do you think you can, make something for her? And I was, on board, and I did make something for her or whatever. And so when I sent the pictures over, she was like, his response was, she was like, it was nice, but it just wasn't fitting to what she was going for, which I
Mm-hmm.
completely understood and respected that. And once
Yeah.
I saw the shoot, what she did, I'm like, okay, yeah, that was not nothing what I created.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of my stuff that I like to create is definitely, I would say special occasion, red carpet, creative, imaging. If you have like, a photo shoot ideas that you want to do, like something very extravagant. It's definitely not your everyday, like nothing like that to that
Yeah.
degree. When you put on my design, you're gonna stand out. Like,
Right.
so you better have somewhere to go. Okay.
Right. I definitely feel that. So, do you think that you have like a list of do's and don'ts when it comes to fashion or even just designing?
I only have one don't, and that is to not try to be like anybody else.
Yeah.
Like I just want to always be my authentic self, and I just always want to be an original. So that's always my goal is to be an original.
Hmm. I feel that 100% because I'm the same way. When I step out, I like to, sometimes you will have people, and I'm pretty sure this everywhere. You'll have people who go places and they'll say, "Oh, we just going here. We ain't got to look like that." You know,
Right,
I don't because like I'm like you. Sometimes my dressing down might not be actually dressing down to
right.
others.
I'm definitely not the person to say, "Oh, you ain't got to dress up." I'm
Right.
probably because again, my dress down is probably not your dress down.
Right.
Um, and one thing I say quite often is the reason that is the case is because my clothes don't wear me. I wear my
Hmm.
clothes.
Hmm.
So anything I put on is gonna snap.
Right. Okay. Look, I ain't never heard it put like that before. I'm gonna have to use it. They use the caption on the pictures now. Next time, I'm gonna have to use it for my caption, my pictures. when we
I'm
take
trying to
pictures up there.
make sure you give me that credit though.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do it with the pictures. We're gonna take some really good pictures when I come up to the fashion show, man, because I'm very
Okay.
excited to see what everybody is coming up with, what everybody's designing. So, are you, when it comes to what you're designing for the show, are you going with the theme, or did you pick a outside theme to motivate you for your line?
So this collection that I created for the show is more so it is to me the theme. I feel, the colors are definitely inspired or what I think of when I think about Arabian. When I think about Arabian Night, to me that's like a summer night. It's not necessarily summer, but it's warm. It's like, resort style, very light and but
Mm-hmm.
still sexy. So not a lot of heavy, material,
Mm-hmm.
like resort style.
Right.
She's on vacation this summer for her birthday or anniversary or whatever, and she wanted to go to dinner and have on that really nice, sexy piece. That's gonna be cakery.
Okay. Okay.
So that's pretty much what you're gonna see for Arabian Night. Resort, light, colors, the nice, the oranges and the
Mm-hmm.
pinks and the purples and the golds,
Okay.
chocolate, Arabian colors.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. It made me kind of nervous about what I'm gonna have on because it's gonna be a lot of competition up in there. it's,
Well,
it's gonna be pretty
I
nice.
will say this: don't come light.
Yeah, you can't. Once I realized it was something that the Quincy them had something to do with, I already knew that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And
And then,
he's coming. He's that
yeah.
he's the star of the show, so he's definitely gonna come with the looks.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And like I said, I'm definitely looking forward from talking to all of the designers that's going to be there. So, I mean, for you, um, like, is this obviously? Would this be your first
So
collection in
this
the
will
show?
be my second show. I had
Okay,
a show about 2 years ago that I did, and I had took a pause. Again because we're going back into that. I don't like to get behind the machine.
hmm
And so this opportunity was this experience itself has just been it's been a journey. It's been a journey creating this collection. I made it possible
hmm
very um, with very limited resources.
hmm
Okay. So this is personal. It's personal, and I'm excited to put it out there. Not just for everyone to see, but to necessarily show myself what I can
right,
do. And I just, I have to tell myself I have to keep going. I have to keep going because I know what I can create. I know every time I create things, they, tend to get the right attraction, get noticed. And every time I decide to pop out and do certain things, again, I get the right people, that see it. It's not probably thousands of people, but it's like
right,
that assistant that works as the editor in chief of Vogue for British, and they're reaching out like, "Hey, we just saw what you did. Can we put it in our magazine?" Absolutely,
right,
it's Vogue.
right,
Why not? So
right.
I like stuff like that, and so I know that stuff like that happens to me quite often when I do things. So that's what motivates me to keep going. So I'm excited to see this collection hit the runway because I'm like, this is just I have to.
Right, right.
It's my calling.
Yeah. I'm. So when it comes, so first of all, do you design for men and women, right?
So right now, I have a lot of my stuff mainly for women, but I
Okay.
do desire to add men and children to
Okay.
my collection. But again, that comes with having that help, and
Yeah.
I'm all about doing it the right way and not just doing it because I just want to hurry and get something out there.
Right.
And because I know my worth, I just don't have no urgency to do it
Right.
quick.
Right. Right.
Um, because I'm gonna always be good. I'm not gonna, in 5 years be bad.
Right.
Um, so that's kind of how I see it. I'm all about just kind of building my foundation. Getting the right team under me because I know once I got all of those pieces, it's over.
Yeah. So let's get into the name, Capery. What motivated the name?
Um, So initially, when I was thinking of what my brand could be, I knew I always wanted my brand to be something that was very luxurious, special, one of a kind, original.
Mhm.
So a lot of that is me, right? When you're designing, you're thinking of things, you think of how it can reflect you as a person.
Right.
So, K, my name is Kalina. So that, obviously inspired the K. And then PARI was initially Paris. And Paris also was, to my knowledge, the name that my father wanted to name me when my mother was pregnant. She obviously didn't go with Paris.
Yeah.
But I always, when I found that, I was like, wow, Paris, what I can, that would be cute on me, right? Like I could be Paris, right?
Yeah.
So and for a while, that would always kind of be my alter ego name that I would give my fake
Mhm.
name.
Mhm.
Out was Paris. So when I thought of Cape Paris, and my friend was like, I don't know, Cape Paris, it just kind of seemed like you got to think a little harder.
Yeah.
Like I'm not don't hear that luxuriness behind it like I know you can have. So after brainstorming, I was just playing with letters and I was taking letters off and things like that. And that's kind
Mhm.
of, if you look at the spelling, it's kind of set up like Paris. But things were rearranged and taken off, and that's how we got K3. And when I said it out loud, I was like, "Oh my God, K3! What do you
Yeah.
mean
Yeah,
K3?
I could already see it in the storefront.
Oh,
That's pretty nice.
can't
I
you?"
actually think it's cool. I can. That's why I'm very excited about everybody that I'm actually going to meet. And I definitely, I remember when I had the opportunity to interview everybody, I was like, I got to have on the show. I mean, because even just the picture that's on the flyer, I mean, it speaks numbers. You know what I'm saying for itself.
Oh,
You know what I'm
cute.
saying. So you did a really. I could tell your work is on point. So I'm definitely, like I said, excited to see it. So next to this, I know you said you like traveling, right? So what would be an ideal vacation for you?
Somewhere on water.
Mm.
I'm
Is that
not
because your
like
family is
an
like?
adventurous person. So when
Mhm.
I travel, I like to do very relaxing things. So, spa dates, that's my thing. Just
Mhm.
chilling on the beach all day, that's my thing. Like light. I don't like to, get dirty and sweaty on vacation. I don't think that's fun.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so yeah, so my idea would be somewhere on the water for sure.
Okay. Okay. Do you think is that like a? I know you say like your dad's side from Pensacola. Um, the growing up, was that like something that, especially not being having access to a beach in the area that you was from, was that like something that you really look forward to growing up, was coming down to the beach?
Absolutely. My dad knew when I was coming, he knew I wanted to go to the beach all the time. And
Right.
a lot of the times, I would be with him or my aunt. She would take me. Um, so, I mean, really, all of my family knew because they all live there. So
Mhm.
they have that access. So they know, oh, when Kalina comes, she going to want to go to the beach.
Right.
And I'm going to want to go all the time. I don't get tired. Um, so I definitely always enjoyed that about my summers. That was always something special growing up. And having my summers in Florida is, and coming from Georgia, the hot heat with no beach. So I always did look forward to that. Yes.
Do you like when it comes to, and I'm pretty sure you do, you have a lot of family in Georgia as well, or you just
Yes.
kind of just
So all
okay.
of my dad's family, majority of his family is in Pensacola. And
Mhm.
then majority of my mother's family is in Valdosta and Atlanta.
Oh, okay, okay, Atlanta. Yeah, it is crazy because you catch a lot of people over from who live in Atlanta or live in Georgia, period, that are actually from Florida originally. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people I've met in different locations, they're like, oh well, my people from Florida, and Florida's a big place, man. You know, even when coming from Pensacola, a lot of people will think, oh well, I'm coming down to Miami. I'm like, Pensacola is nowhere. It's not even the same.
Not even close.
Not
Not
even close.
even close.
I saw a post the other day and it was saying it's crazy how further north you go in Florida, the more southern it becomes.
Very
It's
country. I
yeah.
tell people that all the time. It's very country. You guys just have a beach. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. That's it. And even when going further South Florida, you can actually see the changes coming from here and like driving to Orlando. And I
Yep.
think when you get like past Tallahassee, you just get like a different type of Florida. You know,
Yep.
things change up so differently. So I'm pretty sure I would probably be definitely looking forward to coming out there too, coming back and forth here too. You have siblings?
I do. So I think it's five of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the oldest on both sides.
Okay.
Um, I have a lot of sisters
Mhm.
and a brother, and I have two brothers, um, one half brother, and yeah, I'm the oldest on both sides, so I'm the
Okay.
celebrity of the family.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm the oldest on both sides, and I feel the same way. Well, I just had a somebody. I was walking downtown recently, and somebody asked me, "Was my nephew who's 7?" It's like, "Said no, it's uncle." So he might be the new celebrity around. I don't know, but because that was just kind of crazy if somebody asked me on a Saturday night downtown about a 7-year-old. But as a child, do you think a lot of your ideas when it comes to fashion and designing? Do you think that your childhood, your upbringing helps motivate that as well?
Absolutely. Something you said earlier about the culture in Florida always changing. One thing that you guys have a lot of out there is gold teeth.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so, and I say that because I always, my dad, he has gold. That people that I know in Florida have gold in their mouth. And I've always loved it. I personally would never get it, but I've always loved to see it and just kind of see that culture of fashion. Now it's completely different than what I like to design, but yet it still have so much impact on kind of who I am as a designer.
Right.
Um, because I do like the urban, more casual culture, and I think somewhere down the line I would like to add that
Mhm.
into my line of Capery is a little bit more casual wear. Not right now, but definitely down the line. But when it comes to um, just my upbringing, I spent a lot of my time in front of the TV,
Mhm.
watching movies, watching videos. Oh, especially music videos. I was a
Okay.
106 in Park, BET, Saturday, 1 to 100 countdown, looking at all the videos.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to see what the girls are wearing. I need to see how they're looking. I was always into that. Like
Yeah.
I was always into looks. That was
Yeah.
just my thing.
Yeah. And it's funny that you could we back then, you go 10 years ago, 15 years ago, watching those shows and different, around the time of reality TV coming out and seeing what the people used to wear back then. And then a couple of years go by, and it's like you could definitely tell the difference in the shift when it comes to fashion. And
Yeah.
even now, though, it's even funnier to see how fashion comes right on back around, and we'll think, oh, well, that's new. And then all of a sudden you look at a picture for 20 years ago and somebody has on the same thing. They just might be wearing it differently.
Listen, I was at a concert last night. I went to go see Gunna. Shout out to him. It was amazing.
Mhm.
And one of my girlfriend that took me to the concert, she had on a little piece, a little romper piece from American Apparel. Now, American Apparel is not as popular as they used to be, like kind of maybe about 10 years ago,
Mhm.
actually. But when we realized that it was so many other girls there with like similar styles, and like how, and we were saying how, things just repeat. And
Yeah.
10 years ago was not that long ago.
No, no.
So,
It's cool to see it. It's and because even watching the clips on Instagram and you see, the housewives or Flavor of Love, and you see what they wore back then, and it's just like, okay, but and people just have a way of remixing things. And that one thing I love about Black culture, man, is just that we can do that with anything.
absolutely.
Like we do it anything, and that's what another reason too why I'm excited about the fashion show is to see, because I love Black art, and so I feel like fashion and design is another form of Black art when it comes to our community. And so it's pretty cool. It's going to be pretty cool. And my first fashion show to this capacity to be a part of and actually be helping with, I think it's really going to be a good time. and I'm really excited to see what you're gonna have because now it's like I got all these different ideas, but I still can't really put a picture to it. So you go, I'm pretty sure you're gonna keep us on our toes with that one, and
Yeah.
you're gonna keep us on our toes with that one. And I hope even after the show, and we can really get up and do some work together again. You know, maybe we can
Yeah.
bring it down. You already got people from you. Maybe we can bring it down here and do something.
Right. So, and I think I did kind of briefly mention it to Quincy about maybe doing something small in Pensacola, just to kind of like, it was always a dream of mine to come, there, because again, most of my father's family is there, and I would like to do something where to the capacity that they can be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that would be something really interesting, and it'll be special to do.
Mm-hmm. Is it easy working with different designers in the area that you live in, or in Georgia, period? Like,
Well, I don't necessarily work with other designers. Now,
mm-hmm.
I have worked with a few ladies that have like their own boutiques here in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. A lot of black ladies. I work under about four. Um, Very well known, very established, great platforms. Like I mentioned, the last one I worked, she's right now on a reality show for her actual store. Her store is on the reality is the store. So working with them, they're all different. Obviously everybody's very different. But one thing that I can say that I think I took away from everybody is the experience. We live in a culture and a world where people care more about an experience than
Mm-hmm.
more so what they're actually buying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm here to just give, great experiences and also, masterpiece designs.
Okay. Where do you see yourself within the next 5 years?
Oh God. In the next 5 years, I definitely see myself not saying that I'm just not starting.
Right.
In the next 5 years, I see myself definitely have built my resume at that point, because now that I'm starting for real and I'm kind of, not letting my fear control me anymore. Um, 5 years, I can't even imagine
Mm-hmm.
because I know what my life can do in 6 months. I know what can happen in a year. So five is like, wow, mini mansion,
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe a mini
two
mansion.
properties.
This the season
A
for
store
it.
in like three locations,
Yeah.
Atlanta, in
Yeah.
LA,
I
maybe.
could definitely see that the name is definitely bringing the
I
energy
can
for
see that,
it.
Tyler
Yeah.
Perry endorsement, maybe.
Yeah. Let's speak it into existence.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. I mean, 'cause Tyler Perry is definitely doing his thing over there, man. So I mean,
Absolutely.
I think it'll be definitely um reachable for you though. And
Oh,
like I said, we can already feel it from we can see in the background, what's
ah,
going on in the back. We can already see what's going on. So do you have
listen,
any influential people
nothing is
around you?
nothing is too far out of reach for me, baby.
Oh,
The only thing that's out
that's
of my
right.
reach is God.
That's right. Oh, and he's still with you.
And he, there you go. You
Yeah.
say it. I didn't have to.
Yeah. So do you have any influential people or a person that in your life that really, kind of motivates you or,
Oh,
just you really
absolutely. My children,
mhm,
1,000%.
mhm,
My children, like they give me nothing but purpose.
mhm,
I speak to my son all the time about, finding your passion and living your dream and never settling. And it's so funny because you tell your children these things, you try to install these things into them, and in the same way you're kind of raising yourself too. Because as I'm saying these things to him, I gotta like, okay, girl, take your own advice. Like,
yeah. And I
chase
think when
your
you
dream, don't be scared. This
yeah,
is telling him. So
yeah.
you do the same.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that comes from just, a lot of times when you aren't exposed to certain things, you really don't know how to speak on
Absolutely.
certain things. So now that you have the platform, now that you're on the path of doing things that, lie within your destiny, I feel like, you have a new outlook on life with it. And I feel like that's a lot of us because so many people, I mean, when you think about it, parents, grandparents, um, so many people, man, that's all they had to do was work. One thing I can say about the pandemic, the rise of Black entrepreneurs was through the roof,
Yeah.
and it was just cool to see that, people just started doing and making money with things that they really enjoy doing. I know that even working with the fashion industry of different things that I see, it can be a very lucrative and but fulfilling business. I mean, because it's like you have walking art pieces, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure for people like you to see somebody and be like, I made that, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can definitely understand that it could be not exciting, but very tedious position to be in with balancing that and balancing career and balancing family. And a lot of times people just don't be able to have the experience or the wiggle room to be able to do the things that they really desire doing. And I think it's up to us. And like I said, I definitely see it now. Well, even me, like I come from a family who isn't really that social. Hanging out, going out, they're not doing it. I'm the only one on really on both sides of my family that kind of just started doing things a little differently. So I tell people all the time, man, it's just that if God puts something on your heart to do something, He already gave you what you need to make it happen. And I
You
have to
better say
continuously
it
tell
now.
myself
You better say that again.
that. Yeah, I have to continuously tell myself that because a lot of times we focus more on what could go wrong instead of what could go right.
You
And,
know, it's
we
the
have to
pressure of being a failure. People don't like to fail. That's a
right.
real fear that everyone have. I don't care who you are. We all have that failure, that fear of being a failure. And
Yeah,
so you have those that don't let it, stop them.
right.
And then you have those that, go into a shell.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll try it again next year. I'm not
yeah,
ready. You'll
yeah,
keep sabotaging yourself.
yeah.
So
I think
I
we
think
got to
it's
get
just, you have to make that choice. Like you just said, you have to say, what it is that I want to do,
right.
what makes me happy and focus on that. Like,
Yeah.
and, with fashion, for me, when I'm designing and styling, it's like a high.
Hmm.
It feels like a high. Like I can't explain it other than just feeling light.
Hmm.
Just feeling like, I'm floating. Like I don't feel forced. I don't feel like I have to think so hard to, do the job. It
Hmm.
comes so easy.
Right. Right. Oh yeah. I can go in about that. I can go on about that. I just like I said, it takes a lot of just motivation of doing what makes you happy. Surround yourself with people who are speaking positive, not only to you, but even in their own lives. Pay attention to how they treat themselves. Because it all plays a factor in that, and even with me with getting into radio for a long time, I kind of like played the back end. I would help here, do this, do that. And I didn't really know if I wanted to do it, even though actually I did know I wanted to do it. I just didn't have the heart to do it at the time. I'm like, man, I don't want everybody looking at me. And even when hosting shows, people tell me all the time, like, you do such a good job. And I'm just like, man, I was nervous as hell up there the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to push myself because I realized God put it in me. I already got everything that I need. So, I really hope and I'm really excited about the push when it comes to just young Black entrepreneurs. And one thing I want to point out is that somebody's been on me hard about recently is stop putting little in front of everything you do. My little event, my little business, man, we
The
got to start.
shade, okay? Leave your
Yeah,
palm trees at your house, okay?
yeah. Oh, definitely. We got to start speaking and start speaking more positive to ourselves, and watch how it change
I mean,
around. I
but
know.
you made a valid a valid statement by saying, you have to really just be mindful of the company that you keep.
Oh yeah,
And you have to have the right people around you that's, making sure that they're, cheering for you along the way. And even calling out, the things that need to be called out.
yeah.
So I have a pretty tight circle. I really, really love my friends. They do a great job with just, always supporting me, always encouraging me, when I have like, tough days, they're always like, girl, you, get up. And I'm like, tell me again, sis. Tell me again.
Yeah,
Because
because
I ain't
sometimes we
hearing
need it. Yeah,
it.
sometimes we need those friends that's gonna tell us the truth. And even when we're wrong, tell us the truth. We need those friends who also push us, man, when we down. And I had to learn that sometimes, especially when you're young, you want to hang around anything that you think is popular,
Yeah.
or anything that you think is, the move. And sometimes and a lot of times it's just not good for you for real. And
Yeah.
we see it now with the younger generation. A lot of old people say, it getting worse and worse, but it takes people like us who know better to teach better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we not doing it, like who else gonna do it? And we definitely got to start within our own community. Stop pointing fingers, and then too, just being more vocal about our crafts and the things that we could do. Because a lot of times I feel in the Black community, they push this whole, well, either you got to grow up and play sports, or go in the military, I don't say go in the service, or be a rapper. And there's way more things that you could be doing. Like radio. I mean, police officers. We need more Black police officers, honestly. And even just designers, Black designers, and I've been seeing in the media a lot of Black designers come out with, how their experiences working with celebrities, and the difference from designers with different ethnicities compared to Black African American designers, and their treatment about that. And that's something that you ever worry about uh, with getting into that world, like people will like kind of like misjudge you by your skin color.
Um, you know what? I feel like people, before I'm judged by my skin color, right? My character.
Mhm.
So I'm such a bubbly person and such a magnetic person, and I mean that in like all races. If you're in my prox, close to me, you want to kind of get to know something about me. I don't care
Mhm.
what your race is. And
Mhm.
I want to talk to you. I'm very social. I will talk to you. We can become best friends actually. I
Mhm.
have made so many best friends with strangers.
Mhm.
We I know so many life stories from sitting in the airport to, we at the mall shopping, and I'm by myself, she by herself, and we both need opinions on the outfit.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, damn. What was the question?
That do when getting into the fashion scene, do you feel like do you
Oh
ever
yes,
worry
being
about
judged by your
yourself?
skin color. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think about that because I
Yeah.
don't experience that.
Yeah.
And I've been. I mean, I live in Georgia, so I've definitely seen racism. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it ain't there, but
Yeah.
even the races, I've had experience with racism where it wasn't. I don't.
Mhm.
I, I don't think about that.
Yeah.
I think that God has made me a chosen one. And so when you are chosen, you can't think about not being liked by your skin color because you can't
Right.
just be accepted by one type of people. You're accepted by everyone
Right.
when you're
Right.
chosen. So
Right.
I never even thought about that. I never, if anything, I always thought, people would, probably, choose intimidation
Hmm.
because of my energy sometimes
Hmm.
can be a little strong. I'm a little person. I'm only 5 foot. Okay.
Oh, really? Hmm.
I'm 5 foot, but don't get it twisted. My energy is like 6'5".
My mom the
So
same way. She's about the same height and is the exact same thing. So
yeah,
I definitely understand it.
yeah. So it's like I don't think about stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. Like, it's definitely important to always, move with positivity, even with your
You
own
have
thoughts
to
when
be
it comes to
confident in
those.
yourself. It's,
Yes.
it's we literally only have ourselves to do what we're trying to do. So if we
Mhm.
don't have, you have to have a little bit of arrogance.
Oh
People
yeah.
always want to be so humble, but you also have to have a little bit of arrogance about yourself. Because when
Hmm.
you have a little bit of arrogance, you probably 9 times out of 10 have standards.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
when you
yeah.
have standards, people can't give you low quality experiences. They know they can't even come to you with that.
Hmm.
And I'm okay with people having that perception that you cannot come to me with low quality experience.
Hmm.
I actually prefer you to think that,
Yeah.
actually.
But I definitely cannot wait to meet you. We got what Miss Jeannie Johnson. So Kalina is a very nice person. Um, what she
Oh,
said, yeah. And the
okay,
Quincy, of course.
yes. So yes, she was actually one of my coworkers when I was at corporate. I sweet lady.
Okay, and yeah, and of course the Quincy says he loves you as well. And we have Coco Rush in the building as well. We got a few people up here. I don't know if you can see the comments.
Yeah, I can see them as you're putting them in. I didn't see them before, but I see them.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely have the love shown here. We're gonna get her down here in Pensacola, man. We meet her.
Yeah,
The
bring
Quincy, we're
me
gonna have
down
to have a
there. Bring me
conversation.
on the station. Let me get on the station. You know what I'm
Oh, of
saying?
course. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna have to do some things, and definitely next week we're gonna definitely have our sit down conversation together, and it's pretty cool. Now, since I know we probably share relatives, we definitely gonna have to have a conversation.
Yes, that's
I-
actually my aunt. Like my dad is that's her sister, brother. Is I'm saying that right? Their sister and brother.
okay, okay, okay. Oh, okay.
So if
See,
you know my aunt, then you definitely know my dad.
okay. See, the Magruder side is a side of the family that I'm still learning. Now, I don't know if your dad is a Magruder,
No, he's
but
not a Magruder.
okay.
That was her father. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that's the side I'm on. Well, that's exciting to see. Like I said, and I appreciate you for coming with me tonight.
No,
And
thank you for having me. This has been fun. I wasn't sure what to expect, but it felt like I was talking to a friend.
yeah, I thank you. I really appreciate that. I try to make everybody feel like that, and it's definitely gonna be tight when we get to meet each other again, man. If y'all haven't
Absolutely.
already, make sure y'all get y'all tickets now,
Yes.
where you can
And
see.
if you're not able to attend, it's okay. Your ticket, purchasing a ticket will definitely still be appreciated because it
Yes,
contributes to what we're doing and it's supporting what we're doing. So if you cannot make it, please still support and show effort. And by purchasing a ticket, they are only $40. So definitely tap in, support your girl, support all of the other Black designers that's going to be there. Like this is going to be a nice show.
oh, definitely, definitely. I thank you again. And definitely, if y'all haven't already, make sure y'all download the RWR Live 365 app. You can listen to this show, plenty of other good shows, and good music
And if
all
also
day
not
long.
to cut you off, if you
Go ahead.
guys are not already following your girl, please do so. Okay, K PARI Designs and Custom is the business page. We will be adding new photos after the show. And if you would like to just, keep up with your girl and my fashion, you can
Yeah.
follow me on my personal page at It's Kalina Danielle, and that's ITZ Kalina Danielle.
Thank you again. And then I want to give a shout out too to the Glam Angels.
Yes,
All right.
shout out to them.
Shout out
Shout
to
out to
Glam Angels. Shout out to the Quincy. Shout out to Cicely. And once again, man, y'all will see us next week, June 20th, down over in Stonecrest at the Black Wall Street, which I'm really excited to be at. And man, we're gonna have a good time. Thank you again, and we hope that y'all all have a good